Welcome back. What more again?
One more time around, huh?
We are still Pathos and Logos, and this is still Soundcheck. How y'all doing? Everybody doing good?
Yay.
Yeah.
Paul, how you doing, man? What's new? How has your weekend been?
My weekend, Kyle, I'll tell you how my weekend has been. My weekend buddy has been practicing.
Okay.
Because you and me are cooking up the new record.
That is correct.
And it's a little heavy. It's heavier than the last one.
You've got a few blasts.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some blast beats on this one. And I traditionally am not a blast beat guy. I've never really been a blast beat guy. But this one is going to have some blasting out. I'm stepping up, buddy. I'm working it out. It's rewarding. It's rewarding. You play for a long time. You play do a lot of performances, do a lot of practicing. And there's a period of time in your development where you just don't feel a pathway in to a certain skill. You're just like, man, I just don't know whether or not I'm ever going to get there. And it comes at a good time because at the same time that we're like, what if really heavy for the next record?
Yes.
What if that? I feel like I have my little wedge in. It was like, okay, I think I'm starting to work out kind of how this works. Mechanistically, obviously, the blast beat, for those of you who play drums and for those of you who don't, is based upon, at least a certain style of blast beat is based upon the single stroke roll. Literally just right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. But it is performed at such an unbelievable level of development and expertise as to be almost unbelievable. I mean, I at this point, I think the fastest drummers in the world, comments, let me know in the comments if you do not feel that this is the case, but I've got it that the fastest drummers in the world right now play metal. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Now
You mean it's not country?
I thought that I was gonna name a country name, and then it was like I don't really know a lot of country. I was gonna say a name that was not a country singer name. People start googling it, be like, "Well, yeah, Paul really has no idea who."
Dusty Rhodes. That's a professional wrestler, Kyle.
You know, all the blasts and long-haired country boy. Just the nonstop blasting that happens in that track. But yeah. So I feel like I finally have my pathway in. Obviously, I don't think I'm gonna make it into the 300 club.
No.
But just being able to do it, man.
Yeah.
Just being able to do it. So working it out, baby. Working it out.
It definitely brings like a sense of power and energy to the songs.
And that's just it. I'm not afraid to say I was resistant to the blast beat for a while until I started to understand a little bit more about how it works and actually trying to step up to the plate and learn to do it in any meaningful capacity. It forces you to respect it, dude.
I'll never forget being at a bookstore and looking up and seeing the art of the blast beat. And like, okay, of course I've got to look at this. And you open it up and it's like the Cannibal Blast, the Bomb Blast, the Euro Blast. And I was like, my mind was blown, dude. So many variations of a blast beat.
So many Six Samus actually put out a very compelling video several years ago about all the different varieties of blast beat. And that's part of what blows my mind about it is for a drumming pattern where the volume is loud. I have a jazz background. I'm used to my little drumming vibe there.
Reminds me of The Mask.
Yeah. The intro to Sing, Sing, Sing. I have a jazz background, so that music affords you an organic opportunity to vary your volume level. You control your volume, and that lends strength to the music. Blast beats, dog, they're loud the whole time. And there's a million variations. It's mind-blowing how many different kinds there are.
Do you have a favorite blast beat?
I am a fan of the Bomb Blast, if I'm honest with you, which actually is precisely why I've been spending a lot of time on the Euro Blast, because it does not feel as organic to me, and there's going to be parts on this upcoming record that's literally like our song Crown of Glass that we have been writing is gonna have Euro blasts in it, dude. Like I can't suck at those.
So the Euro Blast is kick drum first?
Think of it like, we'll say the ride cymbal. Ride and kick, snare, ride and kick, snare. There are purists who don't alternate feet, where it's just I think George from Nile, who also is a very unbelievable world-class double bass player, still to this day when he does his Euro Blast, is just 1 foot in it, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like Black Dahlia speeds. And what a lot of drummers do, what I confess I have been doing, is you'll do like right foot and ride, snare. Left foot and ride, snare. You know, just the same way as there's punk purists who the double hit that you do with the right foot.
They want that on the same foot?
Yeah. A lot of punk purists want that on the same foot, but actually the drummer for Shadows Fall, Jason Bittner, was like, I came up learning it that way, but then I'm playing this gigantic festival or something like that, and it just, the single foot hits, I'm getting the notes out, but it doesn't have the clarity. So he switches to and allows the second bass drum hit to be played by his left foot, and it just punches harder, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I mean, like, I hope I'm not like cheating. Let me know whether or not I'm being a little bitch by going like, snare, left foot snare, right foot snare.
I mean, like, if you've got a double kick pedal, why not?
Yeah. I mean, and also too, I think particularly I have found in my sort of like incipient stages of the journey of trying to learn to play this stuff, when you give your foot relief every other hit, if you have double bass that comes after that, you're like, you don't have one leg that's like locked up like Fort Knox. You know what I mean?
You're replenishing energy. For each
Yeah.
limb.
It's a little bit of like, like saving it. You know, it's each leg is only doing half the work. You know, so that when I bust out my ripping 165 BPM during my practice sessions, my blistering 171, you know, I can really deliver the goods. So
I'm not laughing at you.
the hell you aren't. Kyle, how was your weekend, buddy? What are you doing?
Oh, weekend so far has been great, man. Gonna go watch a hockey game later on this evening. We're doing 3 episodes today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, this is our 3rd episode of the day today. Making that Pathos and Logos cash.
Ooh.
Yep. And then, we're going to go check out a hockey game later on today. The Colorado Eagles are playing, I don't know, some other hockey team. So we'll see about that.
I'm a huge fan of insert name of Colorado hockey team.
Yeah, exactly. Afterwards, we're going to the
Sports bar.
Sports bar.
What will we do at the sports bar?
What will we do at the sports bar? Well, let me think about this. Probably watch sports.
That's right. Got
Do you see how we said that in stereo? You play in a band with somebody for long enough, you think the exact
Start
same way.
vibrating in synchronicity there.
I bet we'll sit at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And watch sports at the bar while drinking drinks at said bar. While sports, you picking up what we put down here, guys?
We will make a sport out of the drinking that we do at the
That's
sports
at sports bar.
That's right. So that's really, I mean, that's what's going down this weekend. Other than that, working or refining on the new song.
Yes.
Refining on, did I just say that? Refining the new songs. They're sounding great.
Yeah, they're sounding pretty good, buddy.
Got some collabs coming up for you guys, so look forward to that. And, that's the good stuff.
That's it. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing, baby.
Kyle, it is the long anticipated time. Over under, sir. Over under. We were talking about over under thrash.
Yeah, we were.
Thrashers.
Love that thrash.
3 of them. Sepultura. Okay. I don't remember what the second one was. Kyle, do you remember what the second one was?
We had discussed a couple different bands.
We did.
But let's go with Testament.
Testament is what it was. So we've got Sepultura, Testament, and then modern thrash band, Havoc. Colorado boys, dude.
That's right. Shout
Shout
out
to Havoc.
That's right. Okay, so I'll go in reverse order then with Havoc. Havoc slays, Havoc rips, Havoc shreds.
Yeah.
So because of all that, I don't hear enough about Havoc, in my
That's right.
opinion. So I'm going to say Havoc is critically underrated.
I gotta come with you on that, dude.
Yeah.
Havoc is an incredible fucking band, dude.
Yeah, killer riffs going on there. So then Testament was
Testament, we'll go Testament, dude.
You know what else I'm going to tell you about Testament? I also think that Testament is an underrated band
Give me that.
because are they considered in the big four? You've got Metallica, you've got Slayer, they've got
Megadeth, Anthrax.
There you go.
That's
So
the big
not
four.
in the big
So
four.
they're not in the big four, dude.
That's a fucking shame.
Yes, sir.
You know, it really, really is, man. Chuck Billy is one of the greatest thrash metal vocalists, and I mean, what else can you really say? I would actually say that Testament is having a bit of a renaissance in a way, man. Going out to shows, like I hear a lot of people commenting on how much that they like the New Testament records, and I just tons of Testament shirts.
Yeah.
So I would say Testament is underrated. They deserve more accolades.
They sure do, dude. Their new drummer, Chris Dovas. I just looked. Dovas. Comments. Let me know in the comments. How do you pronounce the current drummer for
The D
Testament?
is silent. Obas.
Yeah, the D is silent. Is a made man. I mean, he's a beast of a drummer, and he had to fill some pretty impressive shoes.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm honest with you, like 80s Testament, I missed the boat on, dude. I understand, like, practice what you preach and all that stuff. I know that that's good music. But if anything, my introduction to Testament was like the Low record from 1994.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So that was sort of your entry point, too. When they had, like, slowed down and there was, like, groove stuff happening. And, dude, who did they have in the 90s? John Tempesta is on the Low record. Who do they have on the Demonic record from 96? Fucking Gene Hoglan, dude. Gene Hoglan was on their record from 96.
Not fucking around.
No, sir. And then, lo and behold, who do they have on the 99? The Gathering? Lombardo, dude. Dave Lombardo
He did one record with them, right?
He did, dude. He came back for a while. He did come back to Testament, I think, for a time. But I don't know that he's been on any other recording. But, dude, one of my all-time favorite thrash songs is a song called The Fall of Sipeldome by Testament. Fucking Lombardo's just going nuts.
You're having a meltdown about it right now.
Okay, this is a fun fact about me, Paul Christensen. If you want to know something about me, my two favorite movies when I was 5 were The Last Unicorn and Superman 2. And in addition to that, while the song The Fall of Sipeldome by Testament is playing, I can lift an F-350 all by myself and throw it directly into the sun. Heart of the sun. It makes it through. It survives and actually lands dead in the center. That is one of the thrashest fucking thrash songs of all time. Guys, internet, friends, can you tell that I have strong feelings about this? I do.
So you would say underrated then?
Definitely fucking underrated, dude.
Yeah.
And again, Chris, who's playing for them now, just seamless, dude. Even looks the part, bro. Like, he looks like he crawled out of a time machine from, like, 1987. He does, dude.
It's an important factor, right?
It sure is.
And then the last band was a personal favorite of mine.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And we're discussing my personal favorite era of Sepultura. I will always say that Sepultura is underrated because, look, I understand that they didn't create the death metal genre and that they didn't create the thrash metal genre,
Right.
but they are definitely top tier of both of those genres. And I will argue with anybody that they, probably unbeknownst to them, created the new metal genre too. Because Chaos AD, when they start to slow down, in my opinion, has all of the trademarks of new metal before anybody knew what new metal was.
Yeah.
You know, like Nomad? Come on, dude. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, dude.
Territory? Come on. Like,
Yeah.
you seriously?
What was it? Was that 91 or 92?
Early 90s.
It was
years before Korn.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know? And so, in my opinion, they will always be underrated.
Yeah. I got to agree with you
Love
there, dude.
Sepultura, dude.
Yeah, Sepultura's fucking awesome.
I kind of danced around the thrash era there, dude. What I will say, Arise, favorite Sepultura record and favorite thrash era record. Actually, that's probably that's probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, just regardless of genre, era, or band, that's just one of your faves, dude.
Yeah.
Easy one to love, dude.
That's up there with like, fucking Destroy, Erase, Improve.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Hard to decide.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff, dude.
So what do you think? Overrated or underrated?
Oh, literally all the bands we discussed, underrated.
Yeah, all of them are.
All of them are underrated. Do they all deserve? And they are also all in their own right successful. They're all touring acts. They're making money. They're doing their thing as those creative entities. But just like, yeah, bro, like the level of shred, the quality of songwriting, just the fucking teeth, dude. They all deserve more, man. Underrated, all of them.
Yeah. Keep it going, boys.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess it's that we got to pay bills.
We got to pay the bills.
We got to do them ads.
It's time for the ad. And today, we're promoting Pathos and Logos' martial arts school. Now, not everybody realizes this, but I actually, no joke, I literally do have a first-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh.
I do, yeah. Made it to the first degree. So you sign up for the school. You give us all of your credit card numbers. We charge them every day of the week, every single week. And I show up. I'm wearing 2 gis at the same time, different colors. And I'll teach the kids how to do one of these. And I'll teach the kid, one of those is going to happen. I might even do a little of this. You know what I mean? And you can have perfect confidence that at any age you will be safe from any assailant. And I do mean any assailant. It does not have to be human. It can be an animal assailant if a dog is coming at you. It could be an unnatural assailant, like some bloodthirsty revenant that just appeared from another dimension, deciding that it has to perpetuate its unholy existence by consuming nothing but your brains. Not today, brain eater. That's what you'll give them, dude. You come to the Pathos and Logos martial arts school. Yeah. No undead flesh-eating monster is safe, dude.
That's right. You got to watch out for those undead flesh-eating monsters.
That's right. Yeah, it's a real threat in 2025.
They're around every corner.
It's tough, dude. It's tough.
Have you been to a major city in America?
Do you know what I mean? It's hard on the boulevard, baby. You know,
it's true.
I wish a pterodactyl would try to eat my eyes, dude.
And that.
Coming to get you.
That's good. We also happen to specialize in martial arts techniques depicted. What am I trying to say? Inspired by the characters from Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So if you want to learn how to slap somebody into submission, you want the E Honda technique. We got you covered. You want to kick somebody in the face a million times before they even know what's happened to them? The Chun-Li technique?
Oh, yeah.
We got you covered.
Oh, yeah.
You want to fly across the room head first, knocking people out?
That's right.
M. Bison technique.
That's right. Do you want to palm heal someone in the nose, literally from across the room, by turning your arm into an elastic band that then somehow, even though it's stretching all the way to the opposite side of a physical brick and mortar structure, doesn't seem to thin in any way? It's not like stretching out like a rubber band. It's almost just like you're creating more mass as your hand is moving 300 some odd feet. The Dalsim technique.
That's
dude.
right.
We specialize in that, dude.
Dalsim technique.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You want that. You want the crouching uppercut that will put anybody into the stratosphere. We got that Ryu technique.
You'll definitely be satisfied being charged $158,000 a day every single day of the month when your 7-year-old learns to cast fireballs, literally just manifesting them out of the air, just like the game.
Imagine what that could do for you and your family.
That's exactly correct.
So come on down to the Pathos and Logos Martial Arts Academy.
That's right.
Come one, come all.
Yeah. Everybody come on out. Learn how to produce yoga fire. Hey, my mom is a yoga teacher in the Ann Arbor area. She definitely can levitate and shoot fireballs. So.
I can speak from experience. The yoga fire class is bomb, dude.
You might say, I couldn't come on camera and say it. You were like, oh, the yoga fire class is Baba. And I was going to be like, yo, it's fire because humans say that. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Dude.
I started with fire and I landed on
You
bomb.
did no, because you knew that it was the right, that you couldn't be that on the nose with it, dude.
It was too much.
Don't blame us, guys. But come on out to the Pathos Logos Martial Arts School, where definitely for a fact you will gain superhuman abilities and you will be peerlessly strong.
Yep,
So,
that's right.
it'll
So
be good.
call today, 732-686-KICK.
And that's spelled KIQ, actually. So you might say that there's not enough numbers there. Don't ask too many questions.
Well, okay, we got that out of the way.
That's right.
So did you get your black belt from the Pathos and Logos Martial Arts Academy?
That is absolutely correct. I walked into the dojo. I approached myself. I bowed to myself, and then I taught myself how to do the martial arts. And I'm definitely the biggest and toughest and strongest martial artist ever in the world. I could beat up Bruce Lee's entire lineage by doing one palm heel. Literally everybody in his family would go, ooh.
That's
all
the
at same time.
E-Honda technique.
That's that E-Honda technique. So literally, we're punching people at this point through time. You know what I mean? Everyone in his entire lineage going back something like 17 or 18 generations.
Astonishing.
Yeah, so it's real. It's real.
Great.
I think another important time has come. It is time, Kyle, to get our guests on the show. These gentlemen just put out an incredible record. They have come from different corners of the earth to converge here to be with us today. Guys, it is our exquisite pleasure to introduce Joseph and Michael from Fell Harvest. Guys. We've had a lot of margaritas today.
There's been margaritas.
There's been a lot of margaritas. More, a non-zero amount of margaritas today.
And there will be more margaritas later, won't there?
Once we go to Sports Bar.
Sports bar.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
Excellent. Doing great.
That's what we like to hear.
Well, interview over. Let's go.
Our work here is done.
That's it. That's the entire thing. Gentlemen, the record just came out. Or okay, you made the stipulation.
Yes, the record has been unveiled. We are waiting on some production details actually to get printed and sent and ready to sorry. We're waiting on the final production
That's what they
details
keep me
getting
around here
printed
for.
out and things like that. But
These
we
struggles.
have now revealed it and played the material in its entirety, the 4 songs that were written for it. So.
And it's powerful music, man. Good. Powerful music. I am left overwhelmingly with the impression. As a matter of fact, Mike, you and I have discussed this a little bit about pushing boundaries.
Yes.
You know, just reaching for, well, like we always are as metal musicians, always just reaching for a little bit more, trying to aim a little bit higher. We played that show with you guys.
Yeah, you did.
show.
That was an awesome sets from you and Prey Burner from Denver.
Oh, dude,
really
Prey
cool.
Burner is so
cool,
good. Dude, they're
cool
good,
doom
dude.
band out of Denver that we're very glad to have up to do that. But yeah, no, we pushed ourselves. I think this is the most difficult stuff we have played, at least for me, in a long time. On certainly on any Fell Harvest record.
Yeah.
And the writing has got a lot of complexity to it. It's probably got some of the fastest stuff we've done, and also some really atmospheric shit. So very pleased with it.
I like it. Speed is the theme today, apparently.
Yeah, I was about to speed is the vibe. I watched you, motherfucker. I said, this dude is, he's coming, he lost 13 pounds in real time on stage. Yeah, it was crazy.
Tell me your secret.
Yeah, this one I definitely pushed myself. I wanted to make the most technically advanced that I've ever done.
Yep.
Not that I'm the most technical drummer, but I wanted to push myself to get into a different category there and out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, the drums are sick. The drum sounds are some of the best I've heard forever. Great job from Alex Carrillo
Shout to Alex.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, shout out to Alex.
Greeley, I forgot the name of the sound, but yeah, he's in Greeley. He's also the drummer in Dragoria. He did a phenomenal job. We worked with him on our Touch of Evil cover back in 2024. It came out early part of this year, but he got great sounds on that, great sounds on this. I think the secret, if you want to have really good drum sounds, is to hire a producer for your record who plays the fucking drums.
There you
Bingo.
go.
Say it loud, y'all. Say it loud. I think there's great wisdom in what you say, sir. And again, shout to Alex, dude. Alex, love him.
Alex was the first guest we ever had on the
He
show
was.
here.
Alex was our very
awesome.
first
Very
guest.
first guest. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, every producer we have worked with has been a drummer because Colton also plays drums. And our first producer, a guy by the name of Alex Blackland, who's actually in Sweden, is also a drummer. So everyone we have worked with on the producing side has actually also been a drummer, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Kyle, you're a lifelong guitar player, but you do a lot of the recording, the kind of producing stuff for Pathos Logos' music, and you have described yourself as a drummer with a guitar in your hands.
All the time. Yep. That's kind of how I landed the gig at the recording studio back in the day. Because nobody needs like a fill-in guitar player at a studio,
There's lots of guitarists.
There's tons of guitar players.
We have spares.
And studio musicians aren't even that much of a thing anymore. I mean, maybe in some genres like Nashville and if you're doing country stuff, but in metal, like, people are playing their own parts and stuff. And so, like as a shredder guitarist, not really bringing so much to the table in a recording studio environment. But if you're somebody who is familiar with drums, or you can play drums, or you're a drummer, and you have that knack for what drums should sound like, or what good drums should sound like, I should say, the sky is your limit when it comes to being a recording engineer or being in the production game. Yeah, I found tuning drums will get you far. Right, tuning your drums will actually get you
That's
far.
an amazing first step that even a lot of drummers skip. I was very impressed when Mike showed up to his audition with tuned drums.
Oh no, the first step that gets skipped is that they don't change heads.
That too.
That's the first step, right? Yeah. The first step is you change the heads, then you tune the heads. But it's kind of like guys who show up to the studio with like old strings. You know what I mean? Right. Guitar players are like, I'm here to fucking rip, bro, and they've got boogers hanging off of their fucking E string and stuff.
That's a meme in the bass community. Like bass players are like, strings? What are those? I change my strings like 3 times a month.
Good on you, man, because it does make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it as soon as you lose, especially with my style. I use a lot of that high end, and I play in a trio, so I need to fill in as soon as I lose that like glassy top end, like nope.
Yeah,
that's when it's time to go.
New ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn. When I was actually mentioned this just a little bit earlier today. I was working for Matt Byrne from Hatebreed on the Ozfest tour in 07, and he wanted me to change his snare. You could probably read my mind what I'm going to say. He wanted me to change his snare head after every show. There was for those couple of months that we were out on the road, there was just a stack of heads that were just for his snare, man. Because one gig, that's a greasy motherfucker, boy, that he could play. And there was just something that was altered. You talk about changing your strings 3 times a month because you can detect.
And that's normal. When I'm recording, every song gets a fresh set of strings.
Yeah, right.
Like, you got to have that, like, I want that burn,
bite.
That, like, bite, that top mid. Like, it doesn't punch through, especially with, like, 7-string guitars, really heavy riffing. You need that extra growl in there. It's not going to. And I mean, you don't change heads during sessions, but you've always got new heads.
Yeah, that's the first thing I do when I know I'm gonna record is I decide what heads I'm gonna use, and then I go through and the kit gets all new heads, top, bottom, new kick drum heads, whole 9 yards.
And tune, you've got really specific tuning.
Yeah, I actually found Jason Bittner's tuning from Shadows Fall, all of his TuneBot settings, and that's what I started with. And that's basically where most of my toms sit. I don't use his snare or his kick drum, but all my toms are tuned just like the old school Shadows Fall.
Is he tuning in thirds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the kind of class. So usually, do you use a 10-allometer to do that?
No, I actually start with a drum dial. Just to get it close, and then just the TuneBot.
Oh, okay.
Really
maybe I'm not familiar. What is a TuneBot?
It's a digital tuner. You can put it on, you clip it to the drum, and you have to muffle one head, and you just tap each.
Oh no shit.
Lug, and you get
technology, man.
Perfect.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. I swear to God, we don't
they're
work for
great.
TuneBot, by the way. Maybe we should though.
We can. If you want to
we-
send him,
yeah,
if you want to send him one.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Huh? Oh, that's funny because learning to tune drums, I always learned with a drum dial, right?
Yes.
I still call it a 10-ometer or whatever, but yeah. So
Did you do the tuning fork thing?
I've been taught how to use the tuning fork, but I don't carry the tuning forks around with me.
Yeah,
That's
I learned that. I was a studio production assistant in college for
Okay,
a little bit.
so
and
you got it
learned
there.
some of the fun techniques. I was studying production, so
Excellent. For me, when it comes to drums, like you can tell when a guy's not changing the heads, right? Right. You can just. I'll be honest with you. Most drummers don't tune their drums. You know, it's just kind of like bang, 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 bang. Oh, that sounds like it's descending. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Paul raises his hand. It's true.
Shake my head in shame.
I'm not going to say it's wrong. It's just a thing. I shouldn't say most. Maybe half of the drummers aren't tuning their drums, right? So that's a thing that you just got to be on top of when you go into a studio.
So this is a
environment.
very, very low bar for all of you aspiring drummers out there.
That's great. That's a
the
good
bar
clip.
is not really that high.
Yeah.
And you'll get the gig anyway because there are no drummers. There's 4 drummers in your zip code, and they're already in 19 bands. You're fine. Just learn to tune.
Oh, that's great, dude. That should be an ad in the future. We're gonna steal that from
Pathos
you.
and Logos School of Drum Tuning.
Yes, dude. That's
So
great.
actually, I want to talk about that ad because I'm glad you hit on a really important issue, which is the self-defense implications of all of the undead we are seeing these days. As a lifelong martial artist since I was 8 years old, I did not get anywhere near enough training in dealing with the undead. So I really would like to come down to your school and learn some proper staking technique
Oh, yes.
and that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
think that would be really
Just
helpful.
these little thin wooden dowels won't do it. Not anymore.
No.
Not with this
Buffy
new
the
man.
Vampire Slayer did teach me that.
That's right. That's right.
It's a more modern approach, really.
It's true. You got to stay up to date, and we will be happy to share that information with you.
So
It's true.
I'm a lifelong nerd as well, and I do remember when I was playing Vampire the Masquerade in high school, having a hilarious argument with one of the other people I was gaming with about whether or not a shotgun shell loaded with toothpicks would count as staking a vampire.
If it's the wood, I mean, if the wood gets into the superior vena cava.
And I think where we landed was it doesn't matter because a toothpick's probably gonna break on the way and not be worth much. But like a big, like if you build like a cannon with some stakes in it, that would probably work.
Right.
Maybe that's what we need to work on.
That's right.
The Pathos and Logos School of Cannon Making.
There you go.
That's going to be our next
Coming up
ad.
next.
Oh yeah, that's
Coming up
coming.
next.
You can take that shit to the bank.
Boys, I see bank accounts with 5 digits in your future.
That's right.
That's great.
The
There's-
dollar sign is one of the digits.
That's right.
That's right. And one of the other digits is a Batman symbol. But there's still 5 of them. So, you know what? Now, it's funny, Kyle. I don't usually ask gear questions, but there's something that just occurred to me. You guys obviously pay a lot of attention in terms of preparation for your recording, and also just in a general way, making sure that everything is tuned, that things are fresh. A single performance, Joseph, in the studio, and you can perceive that there's a distinct edge that maybe is lost once you've done a couple of takes. You need those new strings. So, do you guys break a lot of strings or heads? Like, because it's possible to be just through where I'm getting with this is you could be a great player who plays with great technique, but there are just demands and the physicality of the instrument and the interaction of your body with the instrument can influence how long it lasts. Case in point, there was a band that I worked for on a tour, a fairly well-known thrash band. I won't name names because I don't know that what I'm about to say the dude like necessarily wants to be public knowledge, but his sweat was so caustic. His physical pH was gnarly enough that his strings would like rust. Like in a
I've
day.
heard of that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that, but I've heard of people who can just kind of kill guitar strings.
He
from
was
their-
one of those dudes.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So, like, just by virtue of any combination of factors, do you find that you are replacing these things because they're breaking as much as you are because you like the good tone, or is it just you just change them just because of the tone?
I've personally never broken a bass string while playing.
No
I don't
shit.
Think. Yeah, I mean, well, bass strings are like
Yeah.
Right. They're like
I
steel
have
cable.
broken guitar strings, but it's from doing dumb shit like tuning it wrong or
Yeah.
trying to put like 60 gauge strings on an E-tuned guitar that wasn't set up. Dumb things like that.
That's
But
because you're a guitar player as well.
Well,
He is.
I actually, I say I'm a drummer who tries to play guitar. I have a decent guitar collection. I used to play quite a bit. I don't think I've touched a guitar in probably 5 years now. But yeah, I know a little bit about guitar.
Sure.
So yeah, there's that. I personally have never broke a string, but then again, I don't think I've ever gotten past the top 3 strings. So
Fair enough.
I taught myself how to play Metallica, Slayer, and just kind of went from there.
There you
but it was
go.
all rhythm. So
That's the Max Cavalera technique.
Yes.
Right? Because he
So,
took
yeah, he only used the bottom 4. Didn't
he so much so that he took those top,
Yeah.
like the high
The
E and the
B
high
and
B
E
string.
are
He was like,
off on his
who the
guitars.
fuck needs these?
Yeah,
I don't know why
hell
he
yeah.
taught.
Using them.
I just had him like talking like the Terminator there, but either way, yeah, he had no need for him. He was like, what the fuck do I need this for? So just getting in the way.
I am Max from Sepultura.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, and he would also play with Andreas Kisser, who's, I think, very, very underrated guitar player.
Yeah.
In general, going off of like your statements, he did a lot of really, really cool stuff, and unfortunately, I guess they don't get along. That's why we will probably never see a true Sepultura. I mean, I agree with you. Rise is where I kind of drop off Sepultura. Although I think you're dead on that. Like, there's a if you would put samples on KSAD, it would have been like a Slipknot album or a System of a Down album.
Dude, I've thought it forever. You know
Like,
what I mean?
that's-
Like there are
And
parts
especially
to
Roots.
it, especially Roots.
Roots got so much more, and Igor brought that to like his drum style was like always there, but then on Roots he's just like doing his fucking Igor thing, which is kind of almost it's definitely like
Being the greatest drummer of all time.
it just like so it was so different. Like I remember people talking about like, oh, this drummer is awesome, and when different thrash records would come out and you'd hear guys Lombardo and Hoagland, who was incredible, but then first time I heard Sepultura, I was like, not only is he playing this faster, it doesn't sound like anyone else's patterns, and the way he's using his toms and the high end like accents and stuff he's doing is just really, really like one off, like not real, and nobody else. And I don't think like usually you get when somebody's like that, like genre defined, and they become like Eddie Van Halen, and then everyone else. But no one else can play like fucking Igor. You don't hear many people playing that way.
Yeah,
still to
we
this
talk
day.
about this all the time.
All the time.
Like all the time. Yeah, Igor comes up quite a bit, dude.
Yeah.
I got to think that he's got to be one of the most inspirational drummers for a lot of drummers coming up at this point, you know.
And it circles back to the underrated thing. Both Igor and Andreas Kisser, incredible musicians, incredible songwriters, who it's, if you know the world of metal, you know their names. But like, we talk about Igor Cavalera all the time, but you think of Lombardo, you think of Gene Hoagland.
Yeah, he's not like the first in your mind.
And that dude should be at the front of the list, man.
Although I still would say like if I think of like crazy drummers, it's always my mind always goes to Hoagland.
Yeah.
Hoagland or Nick Barker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick. And you know what? Also, too, I'm sure you probably agree with talking about the Steve DiGiorgio thing.
Yes,
a little
absolutely.
bit before. And Death, Sean Reinert.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
was
R.I.P.
incredible.
Man, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
It's
it has.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's that some crazy people in this. Also, you mentioned Testament, and Skolnick is phenomenally underrated. One of the most lyrical lead players, I think, in metal. I actually got to meet him as a kid. He was the guest instructor at National Guitar Summer Workshop, where I went for summer camp. I went there several years as a child, but he was the guest instructor one year, and I got to meet him and take some theory classes. John Petrucci, too. I got to take some theory classes.
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah, it was
sick,
really
dude.
cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Very, very neat stuff. Somewhere at my parents' house, I still have like practice sheets that John rewrote because I was the only bass player. So he like had assumed they would all have like everyone would have 6 strings. And on like the first day, he's like, well, I'm gonna have to make some. So you like rewrote all of the exercises for
Oh,
fourth string
but how
and came back the next day and gave them to me.
Yo, but how dope? So they're handwritten bass,
Yeah,
like bass notes.
this
and
is how you do a sweep on a 4-string bass.
Oh, but that's
And he
so...
could do. He took my bass and showed me.
Yo, dude.
does a sweep with your bass just offhanded, like half thinking about it. That would take any of the rest of us.
Oh, I still can't do
eons.
that. I've never actually gotten all of those exercises right.
Oh, that's funny to me. I've heard that as a teacher, Petrucci was a lot like Satch in that they really wanted you to focus in on like scales and just various runs, and it's a lot of dexterity exercises. I never took any lessons like that, so I can't attest to that.
Yeah, I mean, this was 30 years ago, but that was my recollection. He's very, very technique and fundamental oriented, and not so much in the theory space, because theory's bigger. It's harder to learn. It takes a lot more. Like I would learn a lot more theory later when I went to college for music. But if you have the technique solidly, you can apply the technique to a major scale, a diminished scale, a dominant scale, a Phrygian dominant. Like the theory can kind of fall in as long as your fingers can do it, but you've got to get the muscle memory, the dexterity
To
first.
get there, yeah. I had heard of, man, I'm trying to think here. Who was it that was taking lessons from Satriani, and they couldn't keep up with all like the scales and stuff like that?
I think that was Kirk Emmett. from
There you
Metallica.
go. Thank you. I was searching for
He
it.
took lessons from Satriani for, I think, quite a long time.
But like, yeah, he was like, I can't keep up with all this stuff. Eventually, he's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I just want
yeah,
to riff,
absolutely.
dude. You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, there you go.
He took lessons after joining Metallica. Like
Still, wow, that's
yeah.
nuts.
Like he went back, if I recall the story correctly, he went back specifically because he's like, I gotta level up. These guys are blowing the fuck up, and I need to make sure I can like. Got to keep up with this Mustaine dude trying to play all of the shit he put on the demo. Need some help there.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts to think that some of the best players of the 80s and 90s were actual like teachers of the instrument. You know? You Vai and
Rhodes.
Petrucci. Yeah, it's true.
In fact, one of Ozzy's later guitar players, I forget which one, the guy after Zach, took lessons from Randy Rhoads.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
fun.
obviously, like I saw him on one of whichever tour, I think it was the Osmosis tour or something, and he played Randy Rhoads as well as Randy Rhoads ever did.
Not better.
Wild.
So that's kind of a good segue. What, because we're talking about, being influenced by other artists and stuff like that. What are some of your influences going back? Yeah, what inspires the music that you guys are making?
We started kind of as a doom band, and my heart is always very rooted in doom. But I'm from that same genre. Like my first band that I really got into was Metallica.
There you go.
Like that was the Blackened and Justice for All was like. The
I was just going to
fucking-
ask which album, because
So,
that's
yes,
important
yeah.
when somebody's like, I'm a big Metallica fan. You're like, what era? Right?
Yeah, no, it's very, very distinctly. Like I remember, I was at a friend's house. They had MTV. My parents were very, very religious, so we didn't have MTV until like much later. But we saw like the video for One came on. I was like blown away by it. We got his mom to take us to the mall, and I shoplifted the cassette of And Justice for All.
There it is.
Brought it home. We go up to his bedroom, put it on, and I heard Blackened come on. I was like, I didn't know that guitars could make that noise to the point, like, I wasn't sure if that, like, solo or, like that tapping bit when you, like, just totally go, like, I thought that was a keyboard, baby. Like, I didn't know a guitar could make that fucking noise. I'm like, I don't know what instrument that is, but that's what I want to fucking play.
Dude, it's funny because this came up just earlier today about the phenomenon of like little kid phenoms that are outputting stuff out on YouTube, and just how much more access they have. You know, like that was a thing coming up back in the day. Is you're hearing a noise that's been committed to the recording, and in real time, that sound is reordering your understanding of how the
But
instrument
you don't
can
know what it is. Like I also I didn't know that you could have more guitar tracks than you have guitar players, for example. So like Metallica never like why can when I play this does it not sound right? Well, because James Hetfield plays 8 fucking guitar tracks, and then Kirk Hammett is tripling the solo track. That's why it doesn't sound the same.
Right,
for you.
yeah, stuff that you just don't, through no fault of your own. You're just trying to figure out how it goes, and you're like, well, how in the fuck? Yeah, you're hearing a technique or something being played, and it is in real time reconfiguring your understanding of how the instrument is played. And a lot of that guesswork is taken out now. You can
Yeah,
just
now
go,
you just skip right to like, I want to know how to do this. I will look up. There's 50 people with great YouTube tutorials that will tell me exactly, and some of them have Patreons, and you can get a one-on-one lesson over Zoom with, like, I think it was one of the guys in Polyphia teaches one-on-one lessons, over Zoom. If you like, well, I don't know what he charges for them, but you know, you can get absolute, like, where I had to go to summer camp and I lucked out I was one of like 60 kids in a fucking like seminar with the, like, you can do a one-on-one lesson with all sorts of artists, because artists aren't making any money off their CDs anymore. So everyone's paying their bills on YouTube.
right.
Or their karate school.
Or their karate school.
Sometimes you got to branch out.
It's true. It's just got to be a little bit more diversified there.
Yeah, diversified.
But
exactly.
yeah, no, it's true. It was, and again, actually, no shade to anybody who's learning music now. I'm literally a music teacher, man. Like, come on, let's keep it going. But there do seem to be there does seem to be this vast plurality of resources that was not available back in the day.
And also, like, it would be a rare event to hear about a new band that you liked. Like, I remember one of the like pivotal events in my life is I'd ordered a CD. I'd ordered Sam L because I had Blood Ritual. I'd ordered that because I read about it in some magazine, and it came with one of those Century Media samplers. Those were like Christmas fucking
Those were
work.
great,
And
yeah.
that one sampler had Emperor Nightside Eclipse. It had Grave Solace. It had Sentenced North from Here. And like 4 like bands that were all on Century Media at the time. And like I was, what the hell is this? What is this stuff? You know, like. But now it's like you can't go on the internet and not hear about a brand new band that's probably making really cool music. It's like, oh, these are the band from Uzbekistan that makes incredible black metal, or is it like all over the place? And
You raised such an interesting point there, because there has been a sort of the worm has turned, so to speak. And maybe, dare I say, something has been lost there. So you get the record, and it's got the sampler, and then you're having that act of discovery, and it gives you that feeling of like, oh, I'm discovering this secret treasure trove. And then you go on Instagram for 1 second, and you scroll one time, and it's at you. You know, like that's the way that it's done.
you see
now.
like, but I mean, it's still cool when when an algorithm recommends something, and it's not quite the same, but it's still a cool feeling to find new music, and then you're going down and you're like, oh wow, this is a really cool novel new band that I've not heard, and they're doing some awesome stuff, and there's just crap tons of talented music out there in the world. So much.
That's an interesting point. What is your current discovery process? So when you're finding new bands or new artists now, how is that happening for you? Is it Spotify?
Honestly,
is it YouTube?
I mostly listen to music in my car and while I'm working, and it's usually YouTube. I can't think of something to listen. I will throw on the Black Metal Promotion YouTube channel and see what the hell they've got for me. And they've always got something really badass. Like, that's one of my favorite. But there's a couple other channels. That's one of my favorites that comes to mind. Is like just a great set of like well curated playlists and things. But also I what was that? I forget the name of them now. But I recently discovered an awesome doom band. Was it Crypt Sermon, I think? Yeah, Crypt Sermon.
Okay.
Yeah, they are amazing guitarists who clearly are thrash guys. Like, they do some soloing that is very Marty Friedman, very like, it almost sounds like if Rust in Peace were a doom metal album. Is kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah, they're very good.
Definitely worth listening to. Very much like the I also 1914 is not really a new discovery. I've been into them, but I think they came out like 2020 was their big one. Actually, Alexander Backlund, who produced our first album, was also produced the first two 1914 records.
No shit.
Yeah, great, really, really cool bands. And Black Braid. Black Braid's one of my other favorites.
We hear a lot.
Yeah.
We have a rock photographer, John Lowen, is very into Black Braid. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Braid is. I also personally really like. like Black Bear Up because he is actually from the area in New York where I grew up.
Oh.
He is from the upstate region where I actually, but in the area. So a lot of the native mythologies and stuff were like, these are names of local schools, of lakes, of like places I've actually known and been, and I've known people who like I heard about this stuff as a kid, and he's like bringing it to music and he's writing awesome music. So.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah.
that's fucking awesome, dude.
Well, that's an interesting way of discovering music. I've always been like, somebody needs to tell me. You know what I mean? That, or like if I still read like music articles, and you know, on my phone, like if I'm getting up in the morning or going to the bathroom or whatever, and I'm looking at news on the phone, it's like heavy metal, rock music, live concerts, and so I'll still find out about bands that way. You know, where it used to be like Revolver or Decibel or something like that, and you'd like look and see like what T-shirts the guys in the fucking photos are wearing. That was the big one for me too. So it was like, if somebody didn't tell me about it, or if I didn't read about it or see one of the other bands wearing their T-shirt, I'm kind of don't pay attention in a way, right? You know. Like, that's the only way I want it recommended to me.
That phenomenon is still alive and well. I heard of Loathe for the first time because I saw a picture of Courtney from Spirit Box wearing a fucking Loathe shirt.
There you go.
I was all like, huh.
It goes far.
It does, dude. It goes far. Gentlemen, there was something that we were talking about the night of the show, right? And I'm excited to talk about this because you were talking about Crypt Sermon is the name of the band?
Yes, pretty sure.
So you're relatively sure. Let us know in the comments. Look them up. If that's not the actual name of the band, come down to the Pathos and Logos Martial Arts School and we'll figure it out. So what we had talked about, fellas, if you recall, that there seems to be a thrash to doom pipeline.
Yes, there 100% is a thrash to doom pipeline.
There's a thrash to doom pipeline. Of great doom band out of South Carolina. Kevin Jennings and Gina Minerva.
Oh, Minerva. Yeah.
Is out of, I think, the Columbia, South Carolina area.
Yeah, somewhere in South Carolina.
I think their guitar player's name is Miles.
That sounds right.
I think the fella's name was Miles. And it's doom. It's dyed in the wool doom, boys. But the guy gets up and takes a solo. And it was like, you learned... Like, you know how to play all of Dyer's Eve. Yeah. Like, you could just do it.
You know
right.
It's not 2-3-2-3. You know it's all.
Right. You could do that cold, right? You could dip your hands in ice water and then take them out and still play every note.
Also,
of Dyer's
wasn't
Eve.
like one of the guys in Cathedral was in Napalm Death. I think.
vocalist.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
that's
realize.
right. Lee Dory was in Napalm fucking Death.
He was,
So
So would he have
I
been
had
the
no
original
idea.
Napalm Death vocalist then?
Yeah.
Got
Yep.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Moved on, and that became Cathedral.
Yes.
yep.
Oh,
and then
damn.
Bill Steer from Carcass had a solo, not really solo, but like post Carcass, he had a like stoner doom project.
No shit. I wonder if it's just that, like, you have to balance out.
I think that's what it is.
You just like, I've been playing so fast for so long.
Yeah, I need to play slow for a bit.
That's actually kind of what it did it for me to go into Doom. I'd never really gotten that much into Doom
Yeah.
until I joined up with these guys. And, you know, I grew up listening to thrash. It was Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, all of it. And that's all I played growing up. And then I started in the Doom, and I was like, oh, this is fun. I can go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take one night and I'll practice a bunch of Doom stuff. Next night I'll put in some headphones and just rip off some old school Metallica. It's fun.
It's challenging in different ways.
Yes.
I remember like in college, I played tech death and grindcore, and I also had like a doom project, and it makes you like think more about what not to play. You can't overplay in thrash like you can in every other genre of music. And like as a bass player, as a drummer, overplaying is worse than underplaying 90% of the time. And in doom, sometimes two notes is overplaying.
Right. Yeah. It's fascinating to me. Lord, I'm crashing out. I was gonna say something. Now I don't know what it is.
No
I
worries.
remember you would ask me about like, is it just as like you get older? And I still play thrash, but I don't want to put the level of effort you need to play thrash consistently anymore. Like that's a hard thing for you to find to do.
Because-
and then also like I did stop playing grindcore at the same time I stopped doing cocaine, and I'm not sure these are not linked events.
Definitely entirely unrelated. No, it's funny because you can develop a musical style. Like everybody looks at these technical phenoms and says, "Oh, I want to be able to play like that." But you can develop a style that requires so much maintenance that it can take over your life. You know?
Yeah, no, it's like anything that you're doing at a high level, you've got to be able to commit sometimes insane amounts of time. Like my brother-in-law is a triathlete, even in his 40s, and he's still like he's not Olympic tier, but like I think he finished 40th out of 1,000 in a race once, which is kind of insane. But he has to train 6 days a week, and he has to like measure calories down to like single fucking olives to keep his macros aligned, and the stuff you have to do to perform at that level is ridiculous. And I think music is the same way. You hear about like bands like Metallica, and they're like, yeah, they didn't have jobs, they lived together in a shithole apartment, and they played as a band from sun up till they got shit-faced every single day of the week. That's why they were so good.
Yep.
It's funny actually. I made a comment the night that we had played the Atrium in September with Iron Ox and them, dude. Void Atlas was I think about that constantly. Where metal is aspirational. It's baked into the design of the music. It's aspirational. You guys just described the new material as pushing the envelope. You know, it's we're always trying to just ramp it up, push yourself to see what you're capable of. But it's like we're all out here. What did they do? They played all day until they got drunk at night.
Yeah, exactly.
We write this music that in order to perfect it, to get to the point where we would never have to think about it ever, you'd have to have a schedule like that. And no one can do that because we have to have jobs.
That's a bit like you're either a Nepo baby or you're really comfortable being poor for a long time to be a successful musician, because you need to not get paid a whole lot before you start getting any, or you are like, you just happen to be rich and you can do your own stuff, and that's how. And I mean, even like that's definitely true now. We always hear about Nepo babies, but I mean, like Motley Crue only succeeded because Mick Mars his in-laws were fucking loaded, and they were paying for their rent and paying for their gear, and so, like, you know, and a lot of bands are like that you just have. You've got an in, and you've got something else backing you up that you could, or like, I mean, there's a hilarious interview with Dave Mustaine from Megadeth is talking about like they all like sponged off their girlfriends. Like they sold drugs to buy gear, and each of them had some girlfriend that paid for their food and gave them a place to live. So like, yeah, that's all they did because they didn't need jobs.
Well, boys, we are getting to that point in time where we got to get close to the end, and we got to wrap it up. So we usually kick it over to either Evil Wikipedia or fan questions at this point. Dealer choice.
You know what the vibe has been today, dude, is Evil Wiki.
Evil Wiki has been the vibe today.
It has been the vibe. Now, the truth is, gentlemen, unbeknownst to you, there is a Fell Harvest Wikipedia
I
page.
have just now learned of this.
There's a Fell Harvest Wikipedia page. And so it's a simple act, a simple game, if you will, of confirm or deny. But just some of these claims are interesting.
To say the least.
Yeah.
We're looking out for our friends, so we like to do some research on our guests, of course, and of course you go to Wikipedia, and so we just want to let you know more than anything that this is on your Wikipedia page.
This is a public service.
Yeah, so think of it that way. Yes, you may want to clear some of this up, maybe you don't.
Yeah, because they're editing wild stuff in these streets. You know what I'm saying? They're just saying, or maybe it's not wild and maybe it's perfectly plausible. Okay, here it says that the three of you, confirm or deny, before you were Fell Harvest, you were how do they describe this? Post-noise, half-hardcore mariachi band?
Confirmed. That was 100. That's how we all met. We were doing the Post Noise mariachi circuit together, and we decided to get out of that because it's a little bit too mainstream, and we wanted to do something more like authentic. So we did doom metal.
The amount of money that they were making on the Post Noise half hardcore mariachi circuit did not outweigh the opportunity cost. Yeah, they had to get out there and do it.
That's how you pay to be a doom metal band.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's precisely accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, that funding, having that funding.
Gotta have that funding. I'd say you guys made the right choice.
Oh yeah, there's no two ways about
Yeah,
that.
never go back.
Okay.
That's an interesting fact. We'll have to leave that on there.
Oh yeah. We won't touch that. We'll leave that alone. Okay. Here it says that one of you kept a living mako shark in your 4 foot above ground pool for no less than 7 years. Is that an accurate
I'll
statement?
let Mike field that one.
Mike, was that you,
Well,
baby?
the neighbors complained a lot. We didn't have a whole lot of stray cats though, so that helped a lot.
Are you well, you know,
Fascinating
there
how
is-
that works, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm curious.
It helps because you don't have to worry about your garden getting.
And the
cat shit
neighbors'
all over
kids
it.
are not coming in the pool.
No,
That's right.
they
Not twice, anyway.
Not twice, yeah.
they'd
That's
stop at the trampoline, but once they see the pool, they're, "Oh, we're out of here."
Yeah. Okay. So then, good. I'm glad that that's true. And then, last but not least, somebody is under the impression that after all of your band practices, that there is a secret button in the wall in the practice space that you push, a door opens, and then for a real-time 4.5 hours after every practice session, there is a can of SpaghettiOs with meatballs on an altar surrounded by candles that you worship as a god.
That is not true.
Not
It
true.
is spam.
spam.
Details.
Might have known.
Details matter, Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They matter.
That's where Wikipedia people tend to get it wrong, right?
It's
It is,
true.
It's in the details.
It's all true.
That's why we do this, fellas. Right?
Good to
That's
know.
really why we do this. We're looking out, like you said, it's a public service. We're looking out for you. You may have not even known that people were saying these god awful things about you.
Apparently, the button isn't secret enough.
Well,
That's right.
you're gonna have to cover it up and put a
That's right.
shroud over
That's
it.
right. Gentlemen, thank you again for coming on the show. This has been a blast.
Yeah, this has been a blast. We'll
Thank you
definitely
so
have
much. We will definitely have to do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Yes,
Let
please.
everybody know what the name of the record is.
It is called Way of the Scythe, and it will be out very shortly on DI Records.
Boom. So make sure and check that out. Paul, we say something at the end of the show.
We do. Glory to the order. Eat it on the border. Vision of disorder.